So where do we start with this play? We start with, right, the empty room, nobody's there, or, well, right, Clove is there standing silently, right, looking at the window, but we know that there is a big sort of figure in the middle covered with a sheet, and that Clove is going to go around, look at the windows, very orchestrated. This is a very big hallmark of sort of what Beckett likes to do. Beckett loves orchestration, right? Set pieces and stage direction, right? It's a very important thing for him. The play by itself, very slim. It's a small play. But it takes a long time to get through because there is a lot of measured speaking, a lot of very slow movement, right? We build slowly here. Nothing is done in a hurry. Nobody can do anything in a hurry. And so when we start this play, we hear Clove talk about the fact that things need to end, right? It's about time that things finished up. He leaves. Ham comes on, sort of takes off his blood-soaked rag that's covering his head, and his very first idea, his very first words are "me to play," right? And in French, he says "à moi de jouer," right? To me, right? It's my turn, and so we get this term jouer, right? Play. The direct interpretation of it in English is play, but this can mean both to play as in a game. This can mean to play as in a play, right? To be in a play, right? And so we get immediately, right, this idea that are we watching something that has been staged? Is this sort of a play that has gone on for a long time? These characters are constantly doing the same thing, right? Is this one of these revolving circular logic things? We have places within the play where we feel more or less convinced of this, right? Where we think maybe this is the first time this has been done. Maybe this really is the end of everything. But maybe this is just another sort of Sisyphus moment. They are rolling the ball back up the hill. It will come back down, right? That, at the end of the play, Clove will decide he's going to leave. He'll get dressed up to go, and then he'll decide not to go, right? Is it sort of a similar thing to what we saw in Waiting for Godot, where the tramps at the end of each act say, let's go, they don't go. Let's go, they don't go. And that they constantly are meeting this boy who says, Godot isn't coming today, Godot isn't coming today. And we just have this cycle, right, of, again, rolling the ball up the hill and having it come back down. What we should feel in this play is a sense of anxiety over both the setting, which should feel, at the same time, it's a larger room, right? It's a larger space, but it should feel claustrophobic, as if we don't know why we're here and we don't know why we can't leave. But there's something out there that we that makes it so that we can't leave, right? When we see the parents in the trash cans, absolutely should we feel like, boy, that looks awful. Like, how do you fit into a trash can comfortably? Well, you don't, right? Is this, a statement about throwing your parents away? Beckett certainly says no. Beckett says, that's not what I intended. It's simply a way of having them on stage and having them, be available sometimes and not available at other times. So, I think we can have a lot of different interpretations here. But our feelings, the way that we feel when we're watching this, when we're reading this, is very important. And again, I think it's very important not just to read it, right, but to watch it. And this is the reason why I've included that video for you to actually take a look at. I really recommend reading and watching almost concurrently as much as you can, right? Read through it, sure, but I really think watching it gives us the best feeling, right? Because again, this is all about the way that we feel. When we watch this, I believe that we get feelings of anxiety. I think we get feelings of alienation. I think we get feelings of frustration with the characters, right? Ham is domineering and, sort of, in a way, poisoning the well by not treating the person who can actually help him, not treating that person well, right? We have one person, right, Clove, who is the only person able to move freely about the space, who does not assert themselves, right? Who is, incapable of asserting themselves and doing something to help, right? We have, Nag and Nell, who are clearly in a very frustrating situation, living in trash cans, who can't do anything about it, and we may feel as if they're being treated poorly. I think that we generally feel negatively about Ham. I don't think that that's necessarily incorrect, right? I think that, his personality is very frustrating, it's very problematic, but we also get this idea that the way that he describes himself, when he starts talking about his story, right? He keeps telling Clove about the story that he's going to be telling in this chronicle that he's got. Is this a real story? Is it a fake story? Is this something that he wants us to believe about him? Is this something he wants to believe about himself? I think we've got a lot of things that we can look at and things that we can evaluate. So in the next, and really for this week, I think it's going to be the final video for this week, because we have next week, right, to finish this up and sort of come to conclusions. I do want to propose a few different ways that we might be thinking about this play. And again, right, you and your group should be discussing this. And if you don't agree with some of the things that I'm putting out there, great, fantastic. That is very important, right? If you are feeling differently about this, hold on to that. Because, again, the theater of the absurd is about how you feel when you're interpreting these plays. If you are listening to these plays honestly and thinking about these plays with an open mind, then I do believe you're going to feel a certain way, and that's going to be an honest reaction from you when it comes to these plays. So, next video, we'll sort of wrap up with what we're doing for the week.